Hello. Sorry you can hear the fan in the background. I can't turn it off right now. I have decided I'm going to start making postpartum daily vlogs. To be completely honest, we're at a point right now where I have to start working again, but I obviously can't go to work. Sorry, I'm breastfeeding right now. Yeah, you can do it. Normally I would make videos about plants or books, but I can't do honestly anything right now. I am full-time breastfeeding, pumping, and watching my son every 2 days. Well, I guess every other night. My husband and I swap, and he takes a night shift, so every other day one of us does get a full night of sleep, and that is how we have been getting through this, along with like a lot of help from our family. It has been really hard. I am not gonna lie. I have had pretty bad postpartum. It's getting better, but the only thing that makes it survivable is how cute my baby is. I love him so much. And now that he's smiling and he's kind of interacting, it's just like so amazing. So you're gonna get me in my postpartum glory every day. It's not gonna be cute. But I'm gonna make these, and I'm gonna make them on iMovie because it's the only thing I have access to 24/7. I keep seeing all these people make these videos with their babies, and I'm like, oh, like I can't even make those anymore. Like he's not doing the newborn scrunch anymore, and he's not doing a bunch of stuff anymore. But I want to have these things recorded and saved, and I do want to share them. It's been 2 months now of really not working, but I need to work. I can't make plant videos constantly, and I don't have time to make all the book videos I want to make. So we're gonna do postpartum vlog, and I also hope that you'll hang out with me because there are so many postpartum moms that are in my situation, but they have even less help. Like, my family has been so fucking amazing. We have literally had a whole village, and I don't think I expected it. Hello, I'm pumping now. Kai's chillin'. He's just a little bean. He's all wrapped up. But yeah, essentially, I want to have this stuff recorded, and I want to feel less alone. I'm going to include some clips right now of some videos I took, I think like 5 weeks ago, when I was really in the trenches. I mean, I still am, but like at least right now I can kind of breathe, like my head's above the water. But yeah, I think I filmed these clips at like 3 weeks postpartum. I decided to just kind of take you back on a memory trip with me. So this was the night before I gave birth to Kai. It was really, I was so big, and I took a video because I was like, just in case. And then less than 24 hours later, I had a baby. It's so nuts. And this is when I was going through transition. It's so violent. After 3 total days in the hospital, we got to bring Kai home, and he fell asleep in the car seat. And then my mom took these cute videos of him, which I'm so glad because I took no videos, almost none, no videos of him at all during his first couple days home with us because I was so exhausted. I didn't even think about it, which is, again, why I'm kind of like making this video. I want to have all of these memories somewhere just like together. And he was just so small. He was only 6 pounds and 7 or 9 ounces. I can't remember, but the binky was literally bigger than his entire face. And he was just so adorable. Oh, he's been in this position all day.
Well, he slept, and then I actually had him in a few different positions.
I just mean these hands. He's been doing the same thing with these hands all day.
I take the hands out and let him have hand time, and he holds my hand. Yes, that's Mama. Mama with the beautiful jawline, Mama.
Dude, my face shrunk. It's crazy.
You're
I did remember to take some small videos of him, but I really do wish I took a lot more video, and it was after I think a week that I started taking some additional videos because I realized that the reason I wasn't taking any was because I was insecure about how I looked. But then I realized it's not about how I look, it's about me and my baby being together and wanting to remember these moments, especially because I don't know that I'm going to have another baby, that I want to do this all again. But it's really nice, too, to watch Chris interact with Kai, and they have such a close, tight bond. I just love watching it develop even more.
I love his little noises. Look at the hand!
I did try really hard to get videos of him doing the newborn scrunch or rooting around on my nose or cheek because it's just so cute. I was pretty worried when he came out so small, and look at his little bent legs. Those things aren't bent anymore. Here's another newborn little scrunch video, but he's only just now 10 pounds, 2 months in, which is so nuts because if he were born 10 pounds, I don't even want to think about what that would have been like because 6 already felt so big at the time, but he was just so small. He was a little bean, just a little nut. Look at him. Oh my gosh. I wish I took so much more videos. This was when we had his little newborn photo shoot. We did it 8 days in, which was really overwhelming at the time, but I am so glad we did it when he was so little. And I've got just a couple more little baby clips here. This one really shows you how curved his feet and his legs were, because babies' legs are bent when they're in the womb and then they straighten out later. And this was the first tummy time, and he was so cute. He was just hanging out. And now he's so good at holding his head up. Sometimes he'll forget and it'll just fall, but usually he's really good about exercising that out, and he's just so good. Wow! I keep thinking about starting one of these. It is 12:57 a.m. on February 28th. We are a month and a half-ish postpartum, and there's a lot going on. I had a bit of an interesting breastfeeding journey, okay? So at first I did it, and it was working fine, and then he stopped just being able to latch all together, even if I used a nipple shield. Wasn't the best. And then it started making me so frustrated that I actually just would lose it. Anytime I tried to breastfeed, I would just start crying my eyes out for like literally 6 hours or more. So I just stopped, and I got much better and healthier emotionally after just pumping and bottle feeding. I still haven't been able to make the amount of like breast milk that I want to. So we have had to supplement with formula, which we're totally fine with. The only problem is how expensive. Formula is so expensive. Oh my god. So I've decided 2 days ago that I'm going to do everything I can to increase my supply, and I'm going to start vlogging it because I want to make content, but this is the only thing I'm doing right now, is like trying to increase my supply so that we have enough to feed our baby without having to supplement with formula. Not because we don't like formula. Formula is great. It's amazing. Fed is best. It's just $50 a can. Yeah, right now I am drinking, I think it's called mother's milk tea, and it's got like a bunch of fennel and stuff in it. But eating enough in order to breastfeed properly has been very difficult because I have got my IBS back since no longer being pregnant. When I was pregnant, my IBS went away completely. I had no issues eating literally anything. And then now I can't eat anything that I have been eating. I've been on like a very high fruit and like vegetable diet. And now I just like can't. All those things just make me feel like I'm gonna throw up. I've been craving lots of like fats, like dried fruits, cheese, nuts, stuff like that. So I've been eating a ton of that lately. So I just thought there's like a lot of little things that I'm doing in order to try to make enough milk. Like I'm making these like lactation no bake like protein balls. Those are super great. I've been making these like oatmeal like overnight oats situations. So I don't know, I just thought maybe it would be fun. Maybe you might like to see what I'm doing. And I also thought that maybe you're in a situation like me where you just are not, it's not clicking for your body, and or maybe you're just postpartum and you're feeling alone. Postpartum is really, really lonely even when you're surrounded by people. So maybe when you have some time, oh, it's gonna make me cry just thinking about it. Maybe when you have some time, you can turn on this video to maybe, I'm gonna cry, dude, being postpartum is no joke. To maybe, I can't even say it out loud, to maybe make you feel less alone. I unfortunately can't turn on your beautiful face to my TV to feel less alone myself. So maybe you can watch this and feel less alone, and I will feel less alone while making it. I'm drinking the tea. Wow, I didn't mean for that to be so dark. I'm drinking the tea. I also am about to drink this afterwards to try to help my stomach. And then I think tomorrow I'm gonna go to the grocery store at some point and try to pick up stuff to make my own trail mix, kind of. So there's these things at the grocery store and they're called like Sargento snack packs or something. So it just has a bunch of cheese and like nuts and dried fruit in it. Those have been the only reason I haven't been starving to death. We're out and I was like, well, maybe we could just make our own. Maybe it will be cheaper, because they're not the cheapest. They're not expensive, but they're not the cheapest. I might try to make my own, especially since we have a million cashews. But I'm gonna be switching to a very high protein, high fat diet, and then low fruit FODMAP carbs, so like high FODMAP carbs. If you're curious about what FODMAP is, you can Google it. It's been very hard to eat. I've just been constantly nauseated, and I've been hoping that, you know, it's just a stomach bug, it's just gonna go away. It's not. In 30 minutes from now, I am pumping again, even though I did just breastfeed him 2 hours ago, which is very cool actually, because I haven't been able to breastfeed him in probably a month. He's just been completely unable, and when he does latch, it's so painful. It's like he's chomping down. Today, it was successful. I've breastfed him twice, and I was able to do it from both sides, so that was super amazing. And I don't feel horrible after. I was actually worried for a while that I had this like breastfeeding dysphoria. I can't remember what it's called, but it's essentially where like you breastfeed or pump and you literally just feel like you're gonna die. It doesn't release oxytocin, instead it releases like a stress hormone, and it doesn't bond you. It actually makes you feel like resentment. I couldn't figure out what was going on because I was having a lot of like postpartum depression issues, and I feel like in the last 3 days something has changed because I'm feeling a lot better out of nowhere. That's where we're at. I thought I'll probably just turn on the camera and say, hey, it's this time and here's what I'm doing. It has been like 5.5 weeks for me to get to the point where I feel comfortable doing the every 3 hours thing, especially because I really need sleep to function. So what my lactation consultant told me, every 3 hours, and then give yourself one like 5-hour stretch, no longer than 6 hours for sleeping, so that way you can just sleep, feel rested, without stopping in the middle to pump. So that's what I've been trying to do, and I'm going to continue to do this for a week, and if it doesn't get better, then I am going to start trying to do every 3 hours no matter what. Starting today, I've been working breastfeeding in as well, so like feeding him with the bottle with the breast milk that I'm pumping, but then also trying to breastfeed him in between, like if he's hungry and he just needs like a snack, or if it's been like an hour since, maybe I have enough. I don't know. It's an experiment. I'm also not making enough to just feed him, so it's very small ounces that I'm getting. And I have considered talking to my OBGYN about possibly starting that lactation medicine. I guess it like induces lactation, so it makes it so that you can do that if you're someone who has a hard time. I'm sure it's not covered by insurance, so I'm not sure if that's something that we would end up doing, but I really like, I want to be able to pump and breastfeed. So we're on that journey. It's been a whole journey. I'll make a video sitting down and just like talking about my postpartum journey like 2 months out at some point, because I want to share everything, because I feel like it should all be talked about. It's just that, I mean, you saw how emotional I am talking about just making a video so that you guys don't feel alone if you're going through what I'm going through, which I feel like a lot of you are. I feel like we all just had a baby, so like we collectively all just had a baby. So yeah, I don't know. I figure I'll start doing these, and because I'm doing them on my phone, even if I'm stuck with Kai, like nap trapped or something, or I just want to cuddle him and I don't want to sit at my desk, I can sit and edit this on my phone. So it won't be the highest quality, but you guys have never cared about that. So yeah, I guess I will see you in 20 minutes just to check in, and then I'm gonna go to sleep for 6 hours after that. What are you doing? You're throwing everything you have into it. It's time. I thought I'd show you the current bottle situation. These are just the ones we've most recently cleaned. The rest of them are in that bin. I use a Haka, and then I also use, that was still wet. I don't know if you know that name. These are called duckbill valves, and Chris and I call them our little ducks. I gave up on the tea, and I've just moved on to this because my stomach hurts so bad. I don't think we're gonna get a lot because I breastfed him earlier, so, but my lactation consultant said to always do it anyways, so I'm doing the every 3 hours except for the sleep break, and then we're going from there. It definitely doesn't feel great though. I was using a different pump for a while. I used the Spectra one. It's actually great because it can come unplugged and then it has battery, which was so amazing because our power went out one time. But I started using a different one called Motif. My lactation consultant let me borrow it, and that was pretty helpful. It's a lot more gentle, but it doesn't quite do enough of a job as I need it to. So pumping, because I am pumping right now, but I use the Haka on one side because I actually find that it pulls out a lot more. So I'll like pump one side and then it'll just stop coming out, and then I'll put a Haka on and it'll pull out like another ounce and a half out of nowhere. So I also have this thing where I have to like hand express it while I'm pumping, and I don't know if this is normal for other people, but it's what I have to do. So I feel like I usually end up sitting here and doing this for like an hour total. It's only that long because I choose to do one side at a time. It's just so much more manageable that way. I don't know. I also don't have like a second kid running around, so yeah, I have literally no idea of a frame of reference for how much I can expect to come out right now because I breastfed him earlier. Dude, my lactation consultant was so proud. I texted her and she was like, oh my god, yes. She's actually so great. She's also one of the only women that didn't like judge me for not wanting to breastfeed and for also having like nipple shields. Like, I had so many horrible experiences with different lactation consultants at the hospital, and I was like, I'm never gonna work with a lactation consultant. And then my granny went and found one, and she's like, I think that you're really gonna like this one, and she was right. I did. And I called and we had like an interview, and I was like, hey, I'd love to work with you, but I just have a couple questions. And I ran her through my bad experiences, and I was like, I'd love to work with you, but if you're gonna like pressure me into doing anything that I don't want to do, like pumping wise or breastfeeding wise, or if you're gonna like make me feel a certain way, like I'd rather really just not work together. And she was like, oh, I would never do that. I wasn't even able to breastfeed my first 4. It wasn't until my 5th, and that she realized she wanted to actually try to figure out what was wrong, and then she discovered a passion, so she's pretty cool. I'll check in with you I guess at the end we can see how much I got. So I just finished pumping and I just breastfed him like an hour and a half ago, but I did manage to get an ounce and a half, which I think is an improvement. So I think we're making more. I don't know, we'll have to see. I think at the end of tomorrow I'll have a really good idea of how much, but I am about to go to sleep for 6 hours and then I'm gonna pump when I wake up, and then I'm tomorrow gonna do like breastfeeding and then also pumping to see how that goes. We got a total of, it's about 3 ounces. Good morning. I started pumping around probably 20 minutes ago-ish. I woke up, did I pump at 4 or 6? No, I woke up at 6. I slept and it was 10:30 when I started, 10:25-ish. And we're definitely, I think, making more per side, especially since we're doing it every 3 hours, 4 hours-ish, so. He's hungry. So yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to keep him calm while I process his food. So we've swapped. I'm definitely making a lot more than I just was yesterday. I'm breastfeeding Kai on the side that I just finished because they can usually pull more out because they're babies. But I was thinking after this, I was gonna try to make some no-bake stuff again and prep some like overnight oats as well. So we got 4 ounces. We got 4. And that doesn't include what I fed him directly from my left and then what I'm about to feed him from my right. I can tell that there's more in my right, but it's just not coming out the pump. I have this issue. It like, I can't fully empty and I don't know what it is, but yeah, so that's why we're trying to do some breastfeeding as well. Good morning. So yesterday when I was pumping the last 3 times, maybe 4 times, I was doing things like, I don't even remember. I think at one point I was having a conversation with my dad, and then another point Christopher and I were watching something, so I didn't get to film the rest of the pumps, but I am pumping right now. It's the next day. It's 8 a.m. I went 5 hours, a little less than 5 hours between pumping this time. Normally I would have gotten up at 4, but I was just like, dude, I'm so tired. I'm not gonna wake up an hour or I won't be able to go back to sleep. So didn't end up making those protein things, so I'm going to be doing that today. Yeah, I'm just pumping right now, hoping I can get a decent amount. So we'll see. Little man's tired. I had to change his diaper again. My husband just changed it, and then I came out here and it just smells so sour, and then I smelled him and I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that smells so bad. I wanted to show you guys real quick. His vision just got better and he can see the stuff now. And he just stares at it. And it's so funny. This is a new development as of literally yesterday. So it's been a while later, and my plans to water the plants today did not get to happen. Shortly after I started recording earlier for the first time in a while, he started to get really like fussy, which he normally is not fussy at all. He's a very easy baby. Generally, you know, if he's crying, we can solve it by either holding him or feeding him or changing him, and then he immediately stops crying and he will sleep through the night. Yesterday he slept for like 6.5 hours, which was the longest stretch I think we've had so far, which makes sense why today he's been awake so much, because he slept a bunch and then he slept a bunch more, so it makes sense. But I started recording that bit earlier. Well, Kai woke me up permanently around 12, and he's been awake since then, and it is 8:12 right now. So he has been awake for 8 hours with only one tiny 5-minute nap that he took. and he keeps acting really hungry, but then I feed him, like I either breastfeed him, or when that didn't work and he kept spitting up a lot, I gave him a bottle, and then he like projectile spat it out. So he's just been really not fussy, like I feel like fussy implies that there's not a real reason for him to be acting the way that he is. I think that he's discomforted, but I'm a little worried because he's got an umbilical hernia, which is where the small intestine pushes through a weakness in the abdominal wall and kind of like pushes the belly button out like quite a bit. So his belly button sticks out like I think 2 centimeters, about quite far. And something that can happen when your child has an umbilical hernia in the small intestine is they can develop something called, I think, pyloric stenosis, which is where the small intestine narrows to the point where food can no longer pass through it, and so they'll just like keep throwing it up and they will act constantly hungry, and it does require surgery to fix. So this is the first time this has happened so far where I have tried to feed him and he just keeps spitting it up over and over and over. But his umbilical hernia has continued to keep getting bigger, and even though I did submit photos to my doctor via the like app that you can use to like directly speak to your provider, he said that it looked normal, and as long as it's not causing Kai pain or issues, that it's completely fine. But I'm a little nervous that it is, because Kai's been awake now pretty much straight for 8 hours, and my attempts to feed him, because I was breastfeeding him earlier, I would try one side and then I'd try the other, and then I'd hold him up and there was no amount of rocking. I mean, he has just been crying and like screaming like something is just wrong, and I know that sometimes baby can just do that, but he's never like this. Never, never, never. So I hope maybe that he's just overtired, and I know sometimes babies can root as like a comforting thing and they're not actually hungry, but I'm just a little bit worried. I think that I'll end this video here. This one's kind of, I feel like, a nothing video. I guess I could talk a little bit about, so my postpartum has been tough. It's been very interesting because I'll have really, really good days and then I'll have a horrible day. Just when I think that the horrible days are completely over, I'll have another one. For a while I considered going on, I think it's called Lexapro. My doctor prescribed me a bit of it, but I haven't started taking it yet. I'm super nervous to add like another brain pill, essentially. So cute and small. He's 10 pounds today. I think I already told you this. So, good morning. The last time I talked to you, it was 8 p.m. and I was gonna wait and use this as like a start to today's video, but I thought that since yesterday we kind of had like a really rough night, that I would film right now. What are you looking at? He's so cute. But yeah, so it took a while to get him to sleep, but then he slept through literally the entire night. So we went to bed at like, I don't know, I think Chris finally got him to go to sleep at maybe around 10, maybe a little before. And Kai slept all the way until 5:30 in the morning. So we got him fed and changed, and then he took a nap, and now he's just kind of waking up. So I'm kind of wondering if he's getting his like circadian rhythm, and maybe he'll start sleeping at night and waking up during the day. Yeah? He loves looking at himself in the camera. We FaceTimed my mom earlier today, and he was smiling into the FaceTime. It was so cute. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to end this video on a happy note and say that we got to sleep through the night, and so did Kai, so. You like looking at yourself? He always looks like this. He always looks so concerned. That's you. Anyways, I will see you in tomorrow's video. So, goodbye. Kai says goodbye. Dude, we went from this and this and this and this. This was actually when I was in labor when I took this one. To this. They're so cute.